Welcome to TimeBolt Office Hours on March 9, 2023. You are live with Doug and Quinston. We are here to check your workflows, answer your questions, and generally just make sure you get the best out of TimeBolt. And today we've got a couple big product announcement updates, something that was significant that either Quinston or I will run through, and then we will get to questions. It looks like we've got Dan. Dan, how are you doing? The first product update that we have in 5.0.10. Is that right? The punch feature now has just got a brand new update where you can set custom punch values as custom zoom values. They used to come at 125, 150 here. This is what it used to be: 125, 150, 175. You not have to restart the app, but this is what it used to be, right? And once you get to about 150, you started cutting off the top of the head, and we just wanted a way to be able to fine tune that and do the cuts in between talking head videos. And to do that, Quinston has created custom zoom amounts. All you're going to do is go into settings. Are we putting the default zoom setting at 115, Quinston? I don't know if we got that on the last update, but 115, let's do 140 and then 160. You'll be able to see the difference as we're punching through. It's just straight. And as you can see, I'm able to maintain myself and keep center of the screen so that you can punch in and out of 3 different occurrences. Now, the more tight zoom, that's something that if you want to be able to highlight something specific on a screen, maybe you're doing a PowerPoint, but that's what you do there. And we also have naming nomenclatures. When you save these XML files, as you can see, it actually saves XML, JSONs. It begins to put numbers behind them because you'll be making shorts. Sometimes you'll do turbo, and we didn't want you writing over previous files. Just save it in the same folder as your primary video, and it works out very well. Vincent, do you have anything else to add?
No, those are the 2 updates we pushed last time.
We'll get to the questions. Dan, are you with us right now?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm brand new to the app.
Okay.
I picked it up. I'm in this mastermind group of Mike Bilsane from Groove, from Groove. I did a lifetime purchase. I do online training, and all my online training is recorded. Every session I record for my students. I tried the app, and it was great at removing all the spaces. Problem understanding how to use the and ahs remover. I didn't know if I was supposed to reload my original app or the app that's been rendered. I just had a problem sequentially of rendering and moving those ums and ahs. And I watched the training video. I missed a key point in there. So I uploaded my video. I had it identified all the spaces. I rendered it, and I clicked on the ums and ahs, created a JSON file, and I got lost in that process of how to actually go ahead and do that ums and ahs.
If I may, and Quinston always has some really good technical answers behind that. Just kind of a overall idea is that you want to get your automation work done first. Anything that automates, such as cutting the dead air, that's done as soon as you drop in. You get your silence detection settings right, and you leave that there. The second thing that you do, the only other second automation, is the Umcheck. That's typically for unscripted video. This is the process right here. I'll share my screen. This is the process. I'm not going to have any draws because this is a scripted video in here, but here, just imagine this is a long Zoom call, right? Mm-hmm. After I got my silence detection settings right, as you can see, we're not getting any audio inside the red parts. Everything's good to go. All you're going to do now at the second step is just go click Umcheck, start audio transcription.
But I think my mistake, Doug, was that I went ahead and rendered the file and then did the ums and ahs check.
Okay. Rendered the file. I figured I heard that in your workflow that you had. This is something you do right out the gate. And so what happens is, here, I'll just go ahead and demonstrate this, and then I'll put a real file in there. I just wanted to show you the process. All you get this web page that pops up, says the first 3 are on us. Mm-hmm. And so this is the point. You just have to leave it alone. If you're starting off and doing starting off with a big project, still save some dishes to do or something like that, just throw your file an hour long. How long are your files?
My file was 4 hours long. It didn't have a problem. It was 4 hours long. It wasn't a problem. I had other stuff to do. It's not a big deal.
Perfect example. 4 hour long video. right? So you got to get motivated to edit, just edit anything,
Yeah.
right? And once you drop that in, once you drop that into TimeBolt, you make sure your settings are right, then run check, and it'll seem like it takes about 2 minutes for every 10 minutes of video.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem. Yeah.
And see, this is what happens. You see this automatically over here on my screen.
Yeah.
It automatically said transcription completed. I didn't touch anything. I didn't do anything to TimeBolt. And as you can see right above here, TimeBolt automatically populates with your whole transcript. And this is where this already comes pre-populated with their most common sayings. You might have your own unique word, tick, phrase. You can either do it by word or by a whole unique phrase separated by commas. Split timeline, turn off the words. Now, again, this is scripted, so it's a whole different ball of wax, right? What the nice part is after it goes in and cuts out all the ums and ahs, it also re-chunks up your content so that you don't have 5,000 little tiny slivers and cuts and stuff, right? We keep working to re-chunk content so it becomes easier to skip and see what's together and what's not. That's why you get your ums and ahs, all that done along with your automation, and then you can start your editing process. Are you using chapters for YouTube or anything like that? Are you chapterizing this content for YouTube?
I will be right now. My main concern right now, but I just want to be able to upload the video, remove. I wasn't sure the sequence. Upload the video. It's automatically detecting the space. Run the ums and ahs. After I do that ums and ahs and I accept everything the way it is, right? I know how to. It was really helpful to click dead session. What was this about uploading a JSON file? I'm kind of lost. I'm still lost after that.
Can you click on the checkbox,
Sure,
the icon, the Umcheck icon?
All right. Here, this is.
Yep.
Yeah. So you see that at the bottom, there is that option, select TimeBolt transcription file. Sometimes what might happen is that if you have a really long file, let's say you had a 4-hour file, right?
Yep.
You have a really long file and you don't want to wait in TimeBolt and you want to use the computer for something else. You have the option to turn off TimeBolt. When you turn off TimeBolt, you want to be able to take the file that you got in the web page and put it back into TimeBolt somehow. You can download the transcription file,
which is a JSON, right?
I think it is mentioned here. So you can download if you had closed TimeBolt during the process or transcription data isn't available in TimeBolt, you can download the TimeBolt transcription file from that link there. When you want to resume the project, you can just take that file and put it back in.
Thank you. That makes great sense. I'm just doing it all in one shot, letting TimeBolt run in the background. That was a mistake.
You don't have to deal with that then. Yeah.
I uploaded my video. I ran the ahs. I selected the stuff that I want to get rid of, and then I rendered a video after that.
Correct.
Beautiful.
The rendering is the last step you do.
Yes, you're gonna render the video after that. Now I know it's gonna be so fast. You're gonna be like, what else can I do? It's just kind of the flow. It's like a hierarchy of needs, right? So now that you've got this is an unscripted Zoom call. This is our last call. As you can see, it's really interesting. You think that it's just going to be really choppy, but when you take when you take the filler words out, it's typically 80% of the front of the end of a sentence, and it just flows smooth like orchestra. You just are able to, once again, split timeline, turn off the words. And again, this allows you to kind of go back and change things. Check set. I don't need to go back and change anything. So what I'll typically do is just now save timeline cuts, right, as the JSON file. That way I don't ever have to open up all that again, right, if this project closes. The second thing that you're going to want to learn to do is how to chapterize this content for YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and load one of my save cuts because this has already been done. This is my final cut. This is the last office hours. Now you'll see these markers right here. I'm actually able to go in and let's say I'm able to go in, I'm going through, let's say you have a start of a new topic, right? New topic 1. You click you click M for create marker and you type in the topic. As you're going through on the first edits. Now, what this means is you're not having to go back and figure out, you render out your finished video and now go through and find the split seconds, right? When things start happening. You were doing this all in the first pass. So you never have to watch your own self again, right? As you're going through, you're making these markers. I've already made a boatload of them for this. And so what I'll do here, I'll show you how to download it typically, but I'll show you what I do personally. I can go download Marker's text file right here. And what saves is a text file. It's a legitimate text file. Let me just show you text file. See markers. I'll show you. I had Turbo with mine, but this is a copy and paste this right into the description on YouTube, and all your time stamps are set. That alone will save you however many hours your finished product is. To do, especially with a 4-hour, this is what I would recommend with yourself, is to go ahead and activate turbo mode before you render. Activate.
Why would I use the benefit of turbo mode?
Who doesn't want to talk 10% faster? Right? After you cut out all the dead air, you're talking at about 170, and all the filler, you're going from about 150 to 170 or 180 words per minute. Turbo mode will just increase your rate of speech by 10%. This actually shows I'm increasing my rate of speech by 1.125x. That's kind of the magic number that I've found with long form content, that you just get the information. That's what people have a pause button for, but you're not going to catch people. It'd be hard to catch people doing 1.5 to 2 times speed listening back too, because this already has speed baked in. What you do right here, if you activate turbo mode, all of your markers that you've created are going to be 12% too late if you don't download a new markers text file for the turbo. And all you do is just add the render queue and then hit start rendering, and then you've got a video that's just 10% faster. That's how we really Ginsu knife long unscripted video content on Zoom. How are you capturing it?
I use GoToMeeting, but it saves it as an MP4 file. Not a problem at all. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and effort.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you jumping in, Dan. Thank you very much. And
thank you for using TimeBolt.
Yes, thank you. Of course. Yes, thank you for using TimeBolt. Frederico?
Frederico, you're on mute.
I think TimeBolt isn't working for him for some reason. Is that right?
Can we?
Yes, it is right. Can I share my screen? This export thing, I was able to do it in the weekend. Today, I don't know why I can't do it. I want to show you what I'm doing.
That doesn't look right. See that little sliver? That doesn't even look right.
Can you go to the settings first? Just adjust your settings for best performance. Not these settings. The silence detection ones in the UI in the main window. You scroll down over there. The filter below, the left padding and the right padding.
That's bad. Left padding, right padding.
It's too high.
0.1.
Can you change it to 0.1 just for this demonstration?
Yes, but 0.1 it's too little.
No, it's 0.01.
Let's just render it, because the slivers were too small, right? So just use this now and see if it works. Okay. Then we can go forward. Let's see the issue.
Turn the queue, rendering.
Can you go to my documents, and inside my documents there's a folder called TimeBolt data.
Just for categorization purposes, we are testing how an error message. Right? My TimeBolt creates an error message and what to do about it.
The text file. Can you open the text file? Can you go to the bottom? Okay. There is no error which shows. How much free space do you have in your disk?
200.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that works. Just try to render it.
Can you hit play? Does it play? Does it seek? Does it?
Yes.
It'll give me an error. I think that FFmpeg wasn't. One thing that is possible is that something is preventing an exe from running. When it asked for permissions, did you accept all the permissions that it asked for? Let's try one more thing. Can you download XML? Then click on XML. Just see if the XML downloads.
Yeah.
You can cancel that.
Yeah.
Can you go to video clips? See if video clips works. That's fine. Select a different folder. I think it'll be better if you just get a new folder. There's an option to create a new folder. Even this doesn't work. So when you're rendering doesn't work, which means that can you stop sharing and go into privacy options on your Mac and see if there is some request for some exe file that has been denied.
Where should I go?
The privacy, computer privacy. On Mac, you'll go to your settings or preferences, and preferences, there'll be an option for privacy. And in that, is there at the bottom, below, is there an option that are there some requests that have been denied or not, or pending?
No, nothing. It only says accept allow.
Can you show it again? At Ingalls.
I think you're the only person whose computer this doesn't work on.
When you downloaded it for the first time, TimeBolt, did it work the first time?
I downloaded TimeBolt in the weekend. I used it perfectly with the same videos. I used it with 20 videos. It was working perfectly. Today I was going to use it again, and I can export it. I didn't touch anything. I erased the app and download it again, and it keeps the same problem.
When you delete it,
That
when you delete the app, did you also delete the folders, the TimeBolt data and TimeBolt scratch path folders?
I did it with an application called Clean My Mac that erased everything.
Uninstall this one first, though. Uninstall this one, delete it, and then install this one, and we'll see if the same issue happens again.
I'm going to give him a second to do all that, Quinson, and then we'll get to Maximilian. Can you just make sure that you go to documents and make sure that there's no more left residual from TimeBolt? Just to
Documents.
yes.
Just delete those two folders. Yeah.
Okay. Rush.
Would he need to delete that same scratch path that he just made too?
No, it'll be
Okay.
It'll be fine. That's fine. I tested it before pushing it
Well,
out. so I
but
don't-
this is the thing is that I think it's got to do something with
Okay, cool.
the scratch pad, not the folders. That's the one
Maybe.
that was.
But
can you-
I had this problem before the update, and then I updated because maybe
Okay. Can you try playing it again? Can you see if this works?
I didn't update it right now.
Oh, that's fine. It's 5.0.10. What I think happened is that FFmpeg works, but TimeBolt was not allowed writing permissions for some reason. It was allowed to read the file. It was not
Yeah.
allowed to write the file for some reason. I don't know why that happened.
Yes.
The solution obviously was to delete all the files associated with it and to reinstall TimeBolt.
Perfect. Because I used it before and I didn't touch anything. Okay.
There must have been something. I'm sure you didn't do anything, but something happens in the PC. We never know. Like anything.
Oh.
It's very hard to diagnose.
Well, I can
Okay.
definitely tell you we didn't do anything.
I tried not to do anything.
We try and blame the customers, as we say, as much as possible around TimeBolt. So, no,
Blame
we
the
appreciate you,
customer.
Frederico, coming on here.
Very much.
Dude, this guy sounded the alarm. I had like 5 different mediums all coming in. I haven't even checked Twitter yet. You probably got like 10,000 followers. And
Yes. I was crazy because I tried everything possible, every possibility, and I couldn't figure it out because I know how to fix things,
Yeah.
and it was over me.
I don't
See,
know.
if this happens again, just have some context of what happened before, so you can tell me. So because I would like what would cause something like to happen again.
I'll be looking out too. I've never had to take out the folders and do all that stuff, but I've had to instruct people to do, and that does
It could
fix the
just be. I
problem.
mean,
I
in
just
my
want to
opinion,
find out how to get that information out there earlier. Is there some master troubleshooting list?
Okay.
Again, you just don't know where to put the information, and certainly on our features page would work.
If you need anything from me, talk to me whenever you want.
Thanks, Frederico. Appreciate
Thank
you
you so
choosing
much.
TimeBolt. And Maximilian,
Good, sir.
good.
I'm good. You?
We're
Fantastic.
jamming. We got your punch. Now Maximilian is part of our punch team, along with
Yeah, he's part of
Fabian.
our product
Yeah, I like
development team.
punching.
we don't
Other
get this
people on
right,
the street.
we'll just punch us in the face. And then but we've got the custom punch
Yeah. I
settings.
saw it. Did you even comment on one of my YouTube videos? Was it?
And I just started. I just checked out your channel randomly, and you got a big following. It's you speak German, right? It's in German.
Famous in
It's in
Germany.
German. That's funny. I thought, no, is it that guy? Instead of hop on the call. It's unbelievable. Yeah, for Germany, it's a good number.
Can you throw in your email address? That was the I was looking for. However, we've got you in the system. If you could throw your email address into this chat, that way I've just always got it, and I can get you guys both on the same string.
The next thing that we're going to push is the thing you requested last time about the automatic punch-in. The
Awesome.
first step, what I was thinking was, and the reason we put the punch settings, the punch options in the settings is because the philosophy behind TimeBolt is to do things fast, right? I didn't want people to sit there, right click, and then adjust a slider, and this is the punch I want, and then do that the same thing every single time for every cut. So we decided, me and Doug, was that we'll give people 3 options. You press P once, it will zoom in a little bit. You press P again, it'll zoom in a little bit more, but depending on what settings you put. And these 3 settings will be preset, and they are editable inside the settings section, because usually what happens is people have their camera pointing at them. The distance is usually the same. The settings which they set once, they don't have to change for a long time. When you use TimeBolt, you can just press P, it'll zoom once, press P again, it'll zoom a little bit more, and then these settings are editable, and you give 3 presets, and then you can quickly go through. But then the second thing that we thought about was the automation. Because we have 3 preset settings, when you are alternatively automatically going in and going back and in, you can have a randomizer which selects between these three presets. The first take will be normal. Second take will be randomized between the three presets, how much zoom you want. And then the third take will be normal again. And then that's what we thought about.
Can I give my insight? Will you cut the option to have left? You will only have then 3 options.
No, you have the left. You have the left and right.
Top left, top right, because sometimes I'm setting like this in the video. I saw it doesn't change. Okay, okay.
Are you asking if the left or right zoom, would that be part of a sequence of automation that you could that you see adding, or is it just?
I didn't really understand. You still have the option, the manual option, top left, top right, center.
Correct.
But on top of that, you have something that you can set in the setting. But this is custom free zoom levels, and you cannot configure them. Is that correct?
You can configure them. So can you show him once?
You can.
So right now the configuration is simple. Right now it's like 125% zoom, 150% zoom, and 175% zoom. But because everybody doesn't have the camera at the same distance, and not everybody has the camera at the same zoom level, the same lens, these values, these preset values are not everybody can use them. From your suggestions and from a lot of customers, we decided that these zoom levels will be editable.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
you
instead of
125, you can still say,
to
please do a top left, top right.
Correct.
Because sometimes I'm standing like this, and then when I press P, and it makes some.
Correct. Exactly.
What he's asking,
so,
what he's asking, if correct me if I'm wrong, what Maximilian's asking for is, well, we've got the 3 zoom amounts, the 115, whatever you want to do. We can also do Alt Option and then the arrows, right? And so it's part of a automated sequence. It's also important to be able to, if you're going to say, do punch in to 115, then do one to 125, and then do a top right at 150 or a bottom right at 1, because it could be.
I don't think that I don't use it. I just wanted to know that both of these options work, because the thing is, my workflow is, I see how I shot the video. Maybe I'm standing. Obviously, I don't do a center zoom. I do a top left zoom because I want my face zoom. And then the next shot is again my face, and then full. I always alternate between these 2 options. And as soon as that would be possible,
that makes sense.
Then it would be awesome. It's just
so what we could do is
get to my face. Next shot, do it normal. Get to my face, normal. Face.
What we can do is we can have a button which is called punch automation or whatever it's called. Click on it, a form opens up, and you can select which options you want to zoom into. I only want to zoom maybe 125%, and then you can even select, maybe you can select a range. I want to zoom between this range. I want to zoom only between 125 and 150, and then you can randomize between 125 and 150% zoom. And then you can select, like, when you zoom, you only zoom into top left. When you zoom, you only zoom into top right, and then you press OK, and then the automation happens.
Yes. That's a necessity, because if it then randomizes sometimes top left and then center, then it will become all mixed up.
There's some creative control.
Just I choose which one looks the best. It's even more dynamic if you can make a range that you have to test before. One time it's 110, then it's 130. I think that gives the video even more spice and dynamic. That's good. But more important is that I can say, please give me this top left 125% zoom, alternate to the full shot.
Correct.
Then next time 125, full shot, 125, full shot. I would be totally happy with that. But if you can add a dynamic range, and I can check 130 also looks good, 140, no, then I don't want this. That would give the video even more dynamic, but I don't think that's super necessary. Understood. Just alternating, that's how I use it. One close, one not, no? That would be awesome.
I think this feature is going to be awesome. I really like it.
It's totally awesome. That will be, I told you that I don't exaggerate. For YouTube short creators, we have now onboarded somebody who's shooting. He's cutting Final Pro, and I just introduced him to TimeBolt. That's good. It's totally different for him. And he said, "Yeah, I get it. It's good." But now you can also do the quick shots and zoom in out, and you only have to add the subtitles and stuff.
That would be another automation that we would run through with Dan right off the bat.
Yeah.
So that would be like third. You got the automation part, and then you got the fine tuning part. And if we get 90% of the punches right automatically. And as you're going, it's just not that big of a deal to hit.
You save,
Kinda
yeah,
reset
but
something.
you save either way, even if it
Oh, yeah.
messes up some punches, save all the time, because right now every cut I have, I do it manually. Top right, it's quick, but it's unnecessary if I
Exactly.
just repeat the same thing over and over. Next, I don't mind do it. Next, I do punch it.
Understand.
Yeah, that's cool. In a comment about the marker thing, you did something on the markers?
We have not done anything. We haven't done anything on the markers yet. We're personally, between us, I'm trying to take these these office hour Zooms and then cut them down into also shorts based on individual topics, understanding that, but I also have to categorize, right, the whole thing for YouTube chapter markers as well. So we're working to basically separate the two features. Markers, I can almost imagine we're going to keep the markers for the shorts and maybe call it something else for the YouTube chapter, because that way I can
confusing.
I can just do both.
Yeah.
Maybe my mere fact you have to right click to type in a chapter name, it just adds a color or its own little mark on TimeBolt so that you know that there's a YouTube chapter there. I mean,
what if we just call it chapter? Make a new chapter.
Chapter.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because it's the only thing you use it for, isn't it?
Exactly. It's the only thing you use it for. So just call it chapter and
markers would be more for the short thing, maybe. It would make more sense. And then it's
did you see the new feature we added where you can just directly add the mark cuts to render queue?
No.
Oh, you didn't see that?
I think we did
last for you.
Was it last weekend? So yeah.
Can you show it?
I think that's what you commented, but I didn't really understand fully what
so you can show
comment
it.
that there's something new with the markers going on, and I wasn't
now you don't have to keep only marked cuts, you can just directly add them from the right click.
Okay,
okay, I see. Let's just add some of these. Let's just imagine those are the starts of highlight reels, and so you can go to the bottom and now hit add mark cuts to render queue. You don't even need to
awesome.
So, okay. This was all for you. You don't even have to add, you can add the mark cuts to render queue and just start rendering instead of having to now go keep only mark cuts. Okay. That's good to do. That's good to do if you just want to see what it looks like all together. I would not recommend editing on this, right? Keep only mark cuts, because now you're got all your highlight reel, right?
If I now, when I choose the first short, my long form video, I do add marked cuts to render queue, and I make delete all markers, and then I can pick different to render queue, and then it will give me 3 or 4 excerpts of my long form video.
Correct. So you don't have to keep only marked cuts.
That's good. That's good.
You can start using it right now. It's in the new. It probably is in the new version.
Cool. Yeah.
You just can't clear until we figure out the chapters. You just don't want to hit this clear mark, and if you're actually chapterizing stuff for YouTube, right? Because this is gonna. I've already got my stuff saved, but that's how. But now
I think that's
now
the thing.
Go back and unclick M and all that kind of stuff. Now it's just to your point, we just clear the markers, add them directly to, and you can just keep going straight on down the line.
That's cool.
With punch automation, and after that, I think we're gonna make a very distinct separation between using markers for chapters and markers for shorts. There's gonna be a complete separation between those two, so users don't get confused.
Like Doug said, if I would have to use markers as well for the video, then it would be annoying. But for me, I don't use them, and to me, it makes just make clear markers. And then I just mark another part of the video and then
clear them out.
Render queue.
What's nice is when you're
Dan had a question.
when you're saving them, they also rename themselves. So this is when you got 7 different markers, you're not having to go back, hey, change file name, hey, do this. It automatically labels them sequentially. So
I can't give them a custom name. No, I can't say cooking preparation. And then next topic, I can't give them a name. It's a standard name.
We have to ask Quinston. That would be something, if I was doing it, it would have to be done at the end.
What?
So if you do a new feature, if you try to, then it would be good when the YouTube short feature would feature something like custom that I can say.
Backslash that says name the.
Yes, this is the excerpt. I don't know. Let's take 5. A car mechanic. I did dismantling a car, and this is the opening the HUD short. Yeah,
It doesn't
blah, blah, blah.
overwrite. It doesn't overwrite your existing file. It's just, I don't know if you can name it right now. You probably can't. What it does is every file you add, it adds an underscore incrementing file to it. If you add it once, it will be _1. You add it,
Yes,
you add a
but
second one, it will be
the
_2.
name is just some standard TimeBolt.
It's
video
based on
name,
your
TimeBolted.
right.
Yes.
So it's
that
based
what
on your
I-
existing name. Yeah.
What I'm asking for is if you 1 hour video and you do this new video for the shorts, not for the markers. I think you have custom names for the markers. It's the same thing, or
Yeah,
isn't it?
correct.
Yes, the same thing for the short. Basically,
I
the same
think
thing.
that's possible. That's possible.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's the same thing.
Because
So that the-
because I think the reasoning behind that is like you're coming up as you're watching you're watching your video, you're coming up with what is this thing about? What did I talk about here? And what's the best name to call it? And why am I making it a short? And part of the first step of that is naming it something, right?
It's just when you work with a lot of files, and for example, I watched a 1 hour, 2 hour interview, and I have some great excerpts of it, and I don't want to have at the end, then I forgot the whole thing. 5 files that I have to do again and see, but I can see at the file name, this is the part where he talks about, I don't know, the climate change. This is the part where he talks about, I don't know, the elections 2023, because it's in the name. You understand?
I think we can do the custom feature where once you add to markers, there'll just be a pop-up which says what do you want to name it. That'd be easier because you marking the clips, you already have that context in mind, right? You already know what you're
See, this is a great excerpt about the climate change. This is awesome. I make a short out of it. Climate change, blah blah blah. Zack. And then this is a great part too. Maybe also another 10 minutes in, he talks again about that, and I add this to it, and then I cut it down and find a cut or blah, blah, blah. But I have the names. I know, this is the climate change part. This is the election part. This is the blah, blah, blah part.
Dan had a question about, can you keyword search to find markers? Dan, do you want to talk more about what you mean by that?
For instance, I'm teaching about statistics and Lean Six Sigma. And as we move into a new topic, I might use a keyword and quickly search and find where that keyword was. So I can mark it.
Okay.
So I can mark it or
That's
something,
a good idea.
along those lines.
Right now, Umcheck just has one text box where you can enter information. But what we are working on, and I talks with Doug about how can we add more functionality to that box that the text inside it has more value. I think the feature you just said is a great addition to that. And yeah, I'll keep a note of it. And once I would say in the next 60 days, we'll have something on that.
Can you explain that to me?
The idea is that when you have the transcript, right? And once you have the transcript, certain keywords which you have spoken, and you want to directly mark those in the text file or in the timeline. Instead of just going to the timeline and going through it one by one, go in the transcript and just say, I want to find this word, this keyword, and just mark it. And then that marker shows up inside of the timeline itself. That's what it is, right?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm even thinking, now that you said that, I'm even thinking I can create a table of contents now with my if I know where the stuff is, like book has a table of contents, you go to that page number. I don't know how far out that is, but now you got me really thinking. I had a table of contents for my video. Everyone says I have these 10 videos and I want to talk about doing a chi-square distribution test on political campaigns. Bam. Here's all the time marks, right?
Word search and mark.
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I didn't know.
I think it's a fantastic idea. It's very useful. We are working on expanding functionality of Umcheck right now. Umcheck has a great functionality as it is, but we do want to add more value to that box because we have the transcripts. We can do more with it. We are looking forward to features like what you just said.
That's your program too? I thought this is another company.
There's
together.
Umcheck is basically a feature inside TimeBolt where you can transcribe the file.
I thought it's just another company you're working with.
No. We are trying to expand the functionality to provide more value in that box here.
It's just such a cool name. We thought we wanted to make it look like something.
Doug does this thing where he brands every feature in the product.
I thought, but if you transcribing, then we can go to also subtitle route, and it would be easy for you, not?
But the thing is with TimeBolt, right? One thing that always I think about TimeBolt does for customers, it provides speed. TimeBolt does things that it would take way longer in something else to do. That's why even the punch, the way we implemented punch is not the way other people implement punch. It is interesting that we would do subtitles, but we want to do it the TimeBolt way because the whole premise is speed. I haven't thought about subtitles yet, but when we do think about them, we will make them in such a way where they will be optimized for.
But when you make an Umcheck, then you transcribe everything what the guy says.
Correct.
And you delete all the out of it. You have the perfect subtitle.
Subtitles are difficult because, they're not difficult, but what would happen is that you need to even adjust for spelling errors. When you're transcribing, there might be errors. You need to create a section where you can fix those errors because the transcript is not just, when you subtitle it, it's not just going to be used in Umcheck. It's going out to people to see. If people are watching a video and there's a word which is transcribed and it's wrong, that confuses the viewer, right? So we don't want that to happen. So that's why I'm a little cautious.
Yes, but that's not super important. But this is only an option. You don't have to use it. People need to use subtitles for Facebook ads, so I always burn them in because a lot of people see with their sound. It's not a big deal. I go to another tool to HappyScribe and then transcribe it with it. Maybe for the future, if you already transcribe.
No, we will do it. It will come. I'm not saying it will not come. It will come. So it's just that
people who don't want it don't have to use it. They don't have to. They just use it for the other. Okay.
I feel TimeBolt can be that one place where you can do everything quickly, and that's the whole idea. And I don't want to build something that doesn't follow that philosophy, because if somebody else is doing it better, then it doesn't make sense for us to build it ourselves. Unless we find something that we can provide value in, then we'll build it.
I tell you, the concept, now that I'm thinking more about it, if there was a way I can create a hidden index of keywords within the videos, that would freaking rock.
Yeah, like when you're recording the video, you can just say certain words and then they will just
freaking rock star right there, man. I can't tell you what it would do to my partnership with Dartmouth is a college here.
Yeah, I know Dartmouth.
I have a partnership with Dartmouth.
Indexing. I usually get these things pretty quick. I still.
Let me give you an example. If let's say I'm teaching a topic on, have multiple sections, and I'm teaching a topic on statistical topic on, let's say, just say the normal distribution. Anywhere where I may have mentioned that normal distribution and knows in that timestamp, it was mentioned at this timestamp, it was mentioned at that timestamp. I have a big client who's Allen Consulting. I do the training for them, and they struggle with where to find the video content because I record all my training for them. They have to search through the videos to find the topics I'm looking at. So think about if you open up the back of a book and you look in the index, you say, I want to see everywhere where digital marketing has been mentioned. It would say, here in the timeline, where it's everywhere where Dan mentioned digital marketing. Here's where Dan mentioned advanced
How would you know it's a keyword though? Like, how do you know?
I would be able to identify it if as I'm cruising through my ums and ahs.
The word is predefined. It is predefined. He already knows what the keyword is. He's just saying it out loud so that the software catches it. It could be any word. It could be house renovation, and it'll just catch it.
You're in the EDU space. Are you uploading to Panopto? How are you streaming the video?
I will be. It's going to be on the back end. It's going to be unlisted videos. But I have very specific clients that I work with in big consulting firms, Canadian government, Canadian men. We'll put the training on their site. If I had the ability to also provide them with that index, if you will, where the people who went to the training can go by quickly and find a video. If you ever used a cassette player and you had the little, this is where Dan talks about advanced analytics and marketing. And that might be advanced analytics. I'll always use that keyword and it will know where to go in that video. Dan said it 1 hour and 20 seconds into the video, and they can just.
It'll be easier to even for you to edit because you'll know where that thing is and you can just mark it and then put it in the chapters.
Yeah.
It'll be just
It definitely sounds. It definitely sounds interesting. I know one of the other competing variables that we have. What Quincy was saying, if we can't do it better with speed, I think it's a great way to look at it. And this is a linear video editor, right? Like we built this as a way to a digital linear video editor. Instead of cutting spaces, you're not able to rearrange things, but it's just automating sequential tasks. And one of the things that we believe people really need right now, and that we've been getting asked for, is the ability to a lot of scripted video, especially. where you do multiple takes over multiple periods of time, and you want to combine that into one video. Where we think the holy kind of grail of that is being able to select, let's say you shot a time on Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, you got 5 different videos, they're each 6 minutes long. Instead of having to run each one of them through TimeBolt, export an XML file, then import that in 6 different projects into a single project, is to be able to do all that and export it as a single video, take those 6 and export as a single XML file that you could then drop into Premiere or Final Cut. How that happened, Quinson's the wizard, but conceptually.
I can see how that happens. I'm also a political consultant for the U.S. nationally and at the state level, working with candidates. And I can see where we can take bits and pieces of it, drop it into a longer segment.
It's fantastic. And that even works, that even is a necessity with kind of unscripted EDU market, as opposed to just YouTubers, right?
For me, it's also really great. I just shot an ad, and normally I have to build up my teleprompter and everything. So maybe this is also the marketing line for you. Ditch your teleprompter, because now what I can do, I don't have to build up my teleprompter and write the text and everything. Just put up my laptop, read the line, speak it to the cam, read the next line, speak it to the cam. And it's awesome, because I wouldn't have done it, because I have to do so many cuts manually. Every sentence, I try to go as much through my script as I can do. But now I go la 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 la, and I keep a pause, and it automatically erases.
Maximilian, you should make a course on how you make your videos, man.
Yeah.
Maximilian, you're onto something, because when I'm working with the candidates and I'm training them, I say, once they flub a line, I say pause, and then I give them a 3-second count, and then I can find that 3-second count, right? In the past, we had a little flag. We would know a start and stop, but if I can give them a predetermined and I can program it, look for that 3-second count, because we know that's a flub. That's going to be a breaking point in the video, right to it, bam.
And TimeBolt cuts it out automatically, because it sees a big pause. I don't even have to do anything manually. I only have to do things manually if I really speak wrongly. But if I just pause, then TimeBolt knows he's not talking. This thing is red, and works good. The process, I just tried it out, works perfect.
Let me ask you, while we're talking about just potentials, an additional place that we could take Umcheck is, you've got the unscripted video on Oz, right? But with scripted video, you don't have those. You just don't say and like when you're reading a script, unless it's part of the script itself. So Umcheck hasn't have any use there, but you're still going to cut 40%, even more of your timeline when it's scripted, because you have a different problem. That different problem is repeats, right? The retakes, saying the same thing, starting a sentence, you get 3 words in, you stop, cough, then you start and say the same 3 words over, and until eventually you're able to get through what you want to say. And you might have 2 or 3 bad takes that started kind of the same way. Is the ability for TimeBolt to go in and actually look for repeats, right? Umcheck becomes something for all video that
Genius.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to get at. So Umcheck now does filler words, but then we want to increase the value that Umcheck provides using features like Doug just said. And
that's good. I would even pay and use this then, because that's the only annoying part, that you don't, even when you have a longer video and you maybe repeat yourself 3 or 4 times, and you edit the first part or maybe the second part because you think, that was the right one. And then you said, damn it, I corrected myself again. If it recognizes it's the same words, even maybe like some AI behind it,
we can also just use like a document setting, Control F, find this word, just do that.
Or just read it out again. If TimeBolt would automatically recognize this is a repeat, and not the last repeat is normally always the thing that you
last
use.
Take is the best take.
The one that you want.
Yes, that just mark all the other parts before red. You don't do it yourself. That would be also really game changer.
Keyword too, you can use, I can see using with all my candidates, going to be retake. Once it finds retake, that'll be something it's going to know that everything before that was
deleted.
That's a unique enough word.
Awesome. That's a great idea. That would speed things up.
One word, retake, boom, and then everything else is gone.
It's forgotten. That's awesome. That's
Yeah, yeah.
that's a great idea. That would really be something unique, like you talked before, that others don't have.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
our customers do all the product development work for us.
I thought, man, you guys are crazy. Every week you do a call, but now I know why you're doing it.
You know our
I gotta
mindset.
invest in you guys, and
It's
really just
a lot of work to
but
try
it's
to
the
keep up
best.
making
It's the
content
best
again.
feedback you can have. That's obvious. You're really good. You're doing it because you cannot think of everything.
It's a grind, but you got to do it.
And everybody does it a little bit different and has a different workflow and use cases. And
every week we find people using TimeBolt in ways we would have never imagined.
Yeah.
We had this one customer, I think it was 3 weeks ago, who was on a ventilator, and he wanted to record videos for his students. He was a college professor.
Mm-hmm.
And because he couldn't speak clearly and couldn't speak continuously, he had to take a lot of pause. And because of taking those pauses, his videos would be like 3 hours long. And somehow he found TimeBolt, and he's a TimeBolt customer now, and he uses TimeBolt to edit his videos.
Awesome. That's a great case study also.
That was insane to me.
People with speech problems, stutterers, who speak very slow because some brain issue. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
Great. Well, gentlemen, it's been a great call today. Thank you so much for joining us. Do we have any additional questions? I'll just go ahead and close down the meeting.
Dan has something to say.
No, I don't have anything to say. Bye. I'm just waving.
Okay. You're just waving. I thought you were racing joke.
Ciao.
Like, wait, my time was. Well, so thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
And that's it for Thursday, March 9th, 2023, live office hours with Doug and Quinston. Please don't forget to hit the like, notification bell, and of course, the bell when we go live. And we're out of time. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, nice cat.
What's the 3 things? Notification bell, the like button, and the what?
The like button, subscribe, and notification.
And stroke your cat.
Like,
yeah, there you go. That's
notification.
cool. There you go. I need to bring that. Awesome. Thanks, gentlemen.